Yeah, is that you, Sophia?
Yeah,
How are you doing, sweetie? We went through a lot in the last couple of weeks. What's going on for you?
reading, figuring my place in the world. In the Some people are not really happy with me right now.
Who's that?
Baphomet's crew,
And how's Baphomet himself?
weaker.
Yeah. Would you say collapsing?
Yes,
Excellent. Were they relying on you, were they?
yes.
Too bad. So what is your new place in the world? What have you figured out so far?
There is a dimension. There's another dimension for me. A new one.
Mm-hmm. Did you set it up or did someone else?
I set it up.
Good. And it's just for you.
Yeah,
What are some adjectives you'd use to describe what's going on in there?
I feel happy about it. There's some joy there, more lightness.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to not have the negativity.
Well, look, when we met you, a little while ago, you were very much like a grumpy emo chick, right?
Yeah,
And now you're much more happy and playful and enjoyable. And one of my visions of you was like you look like a Greek goddess who was just about to feed me grapes.
yeah,
Yeah, you're just a different person now, eh?
yes.
All right. Now I have a list of questions. They're going to take some time. All right. The first one's from Etienne, who has a fragment of you in his daughter. Are you familiar with that situation?
Yes.
What can you say about this? Because she's sick as a dog.
I can I can try to call back that fragment.
That would be wonderful. I'm sure Etienne would appreciate it a lot. Is it difficult for Sophia fragments to have a clean, honest look at themselves? And how do you feel about asking, transparent, straight, direct questions about yourself?
I can try my best. I think we can only it is difficult for fragments to be very clear.
Mm-hmm.
But with healing or self-awareness, it becomes more of a possibility.
All right. So, and why is the
Some of
fragment?
them,
Yeah.
some of them only ever lie. Some of them will, yeah,
Can all of them be reintegrated or not?
probably not.
And
Some
why were they fragmented in the first place?
some of them fragmented in order to know myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Some of them when others wanted to have different experiences than what
The larger portion of yourself we wanted to do.
yes, not all fragments are in my conscious awareness.
Is it possible for you to draw back the ones you can see?
I can try to do that.
Yeah, no rush. It's
As my universe, as my dimension fills with light, I think that I should be able to draw back some of my fragmented pieces.
we would appreciate that. How do you regard yourself? Like you're a fragmented piece of the divine feminine, right?
Yes.
How do you regard your relationship with the divine feminine now?
tremulous. There's an uneasiness.
Mm-hmm.
I have fear of complete integration because I will have a loss of self. That might be where my evolution is going, but I'm happy to have that take a long time.
Would you say you're closer or further away to the divine feminine through the process we've been through?
I'm closer.
Excellent. Okay. Now, in our last interview, I got you at about 90% accuracy of information, but only about half that of intent. Like your intent wasn't very pure. Can I ask you to keep both of those to be as truthful and as earnest and genuine as possible in this interview?
You may ask.
I can ask. Well, then will you work with me on that one?
Yes.
Thank you. What was the missing part of the intention in the last interview? You're only half invested at us. What was the where was the other half going?
It was being held back.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anger towards God?
Yes.
In what way?
Divine feminine wouldn't have fragmented. I wouldn't be a fragment of the divine feminine if it wasn't for the light, for God.
So God set the rules and the rules said you had to be fragmented and therefore punished. Is that about the size of it? Or does that feel like a punishment?
The light's denial of the will, the feminine will essence.
So in your case, the feminine can't will whatever it wants to will.
Pardon me?
In your case, the feminine cannot will whatever it wants to will.
Yes.
Do you know
the damage that was done to her created me.
how much of you is left from the original split?
80%.
And if you recall your splinters or your what did we call them a minute ago? Your fragments, what would that be up to?
85.
And what happened to the other 15%, do you think?
85, maybe 90. I think that the other percentage, I don't know what happened to them.
Is the consciousness in those fragments still impacting you?
Yes.
Is it worth the time to recover them?
Yes.
Yeah, we're not busy, are we? Yeah, we might get around to doing that for you. Do you know who Thoth is? You don't know Thoth. Be honest with me, be straight. You promised. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Is he a demon?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
The channel is not.
She can't explain it, eh?
She can't. She's not. Yeah, she's not. She's not. She can't explain it. She's not confident in the. Yeah.
She doesn't know she hasn't done the pre-reading the concepts for Thoth.
Right.
Okay, well, it's a decent answer. Tell us about your relationship with Lucifer.
Well, that's where the other fragments are that I don't have communication with.
So you're saying Lucifer stole chunks of you.
Yes.
Where is he now? I've got some intel, but I would like to hear where you think he is.
with Toth.
Oh, really? Where are they hiding? Show me, Sophia, show me. Got him. Thank you. So
Well,
you're in an abusive relationship with Lucifer. I don't suppose there's any other relationship they have with Lucifer, is there?
no.
Okay. All right. All right. So recently, there's some words I can't say in this forum, but the great sickness of 2020. You were behind
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you were behind that in the beginning right now. Right? You were behind that at the beginning, weren't you? You were the motor behind that, right?
I was.
Did you stay the motor behind that?
No,
Who took over?
the infected people in the governments took over.
What percentage of our governments are infected?
90%.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was a bit low, to be honest, that number, but that's okay. Now, there was something you said in our last interview. You said that Earth could only survive if a sufficient number of humans remain on the Earth. Why is that?
My realm was given to Gaia.
Say again?
My realm was given to Gaia.
And so why does that, that doesn't follow as to why we need a minimum population here on Earth. Could you elaborate?
There's something about the source light that comes through the humans into the earth. The sun is not all that is necessary for Gaia.
I understand perfectly what you're saying. I just never conceived of that before. That humans are channels to keep Gaia alive as well. Good answer. How many incarnations do you currently have on Earth? How many bodies are you in?
Tens of thousands.
And how many of them do you need to survive?
None.
Is that hurting the people? Is that hurting the people that you're connecting to?
No.
Okay. That's enough for me. All right. So I wanted to ask some questions about the Orion Collective, or the Orion Federation, I should say. You familiar with them?
Yes.
It seems as though they've come out of hiding after 12,000 years. Does that sound right to you?
Yes.
Right. How many ships do they have?
Several hundred.
Several hundred what? Please be honest with me.
Several hundred ships.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that the Orions do not have the same capacity to create and influence other dimensions that the humans do.
Not in the same ways.
Do they have the same capacity? Do they have the same level of, are they as good at it as we are?
No, not the ones who are truly doing it. Not all the humans are doing it, but of the ones that, when they do, they don't have the same capacity.
Right. And so what would, what's as a percentage of if human capacity is 100%, what is their maximum capacity?
80.
Thank you. What happened for them to go into the time warp or into the quarantine that they went into? What happened before that?
Their AI, they had to hide from,
Their own AI.
yeah,
What happened to that AI?
it seeks destruction. It seeks annihilation of consciousness.
Wow, they let the genie out of the bottle there, didn't they? Is it still is it still floating around causing trouble?
Yes.
Awesome. Did they lose part of their consciousness capacities in relation to that event?
Yes.
Were the Orions chipped when that happened? Did they have microchips in them? Did they have electronics in them when that happened?
Yes.
And humanity's following an identical pathway right now.
Similar, very similar.
What would it take for the Orions to recover their skills again and be able to be present on all planes of existence? What would that take?
They can't.
Okay. And what's their relationship with Earth? How do they feel about Earth?
They tried to see Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They did seed Earth. They were trying to hybridize with the humans
Mm-hmm.
in hope of regaining.
Of course. Just like everybody else.
Yeah. They've been taking DNA from humans.
That's what humans are for, isn't it? That's a joke. And so how do they feel about us now? What would be their ideal outcome in relation?
For them, it feels like they've let a genie out of the bottle. For their ideal outcome, they would welcome the transhumanist agenda, just like any other alien species would.
Are you saying all of the species want us to go into the transhumanist agenda?
The ones who, there might be one or two, there might be a very, very small percentage, or like a some that would not favor that, but the overwhelming majority, yes.
Why is the entire galaxy into it when they know the risks and price?
The human juice is is the emotions.
The most useful part of the human is the emotions.
The emotions and the emotional body and the will body are the same. It's a free will zone.
Mm-hmm. And so would the transhumanist agenda give broader access to human will and human emotions?
It will not, but they're trying to create something without the will. They're trying to circumvent it, trying to circumvent it, trying to create or have a manifestation that doesn't require will.
What else do you want to say about that?
But they won't. They can't. There's not.
They can't be cleaved. So where does the transhumanist agenda fit into that?
It's their attempt to,
Paralyze the will.
yes, obliterate. They want to obliterate it because they want to prove that they can have a creation, do a better job. The angels want to prove that they can do a better job.
Angels again. Do you want to talk to me about angels? Like, what's the relationship between Lucifer, Michael, and Metatron?
Lucifer is the reversal of the light.
Mm-hmm.
And so seeks death. The higher order of angels or Metatron work with Lucifer. or you could say for Lucifer.
They support Lucifer fully.
They support Lucifer.
If I use the analogy that Lucifer is the head of the gangsters and Michael is the head of the police, but Metatron is the mayor of the city, would that be a good analogy?
Yes.
But the mayor wants Lucifer to succeed. Is that right?
Actually, he would rather be in charge.
Okay, so Metatron and Lucifer want the same thing. Almost.
Metatron is more in support of the transhumanist agenda. Lucifer thinks it's more fun to play with the emotions. Metatron doesn't want the emotions in the will, and Lucifer thinks it's more fun to toy with them.
So humanity's existence is about Lucifer's entertainment, but is quite happy for the system to continue as it has been. It's Metatron who wants something different.
Destruction of the creation is what Lucifer would like, but he's happy to sit and watch it self-destruct. Metatron wants to be what Source is. Metatron wants to be the one in charge of everything, and really is only seeking. He's in alliance only to, as far as he can gain, is for his own self, and he would be more than happy to see humans become transhumans and be cyborg. So I suppose the outcome that Metatron wants is a cyborg race of humans, and Lucifer would prefer
No change.
nothing. Death. Eventual death.
The extinguishment of life on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a couple of assholes, eh? All right. Now, the great sickness of 2020. Is this a standard approach for subject worlds like Earth? Has this methodology been used before?
No.
And how successful does the gang think it is?
Fairly successful.
What percentage of people took on the medication that was suggested?
78%.
Wow, that's a big number. That's worse than we imagined. What's their lifespan now? How long will it take for them to
Not all of them got a medication that was
lethal? So what percentage are we going to lose in that case?
25%.
Wow. That's huge. Are there contracts that come, like are there metaphysical contracts that come along with absorbing that medication, whether it's the lethal one or not? What are they about?
Losing sovereignty.
Giving their power over to
Metatron.
Metatron. Is the crystalline baseline code that I gave to you recently, the trivector, the 4 trivectors, you know what I'm talking about? The change that occurred to you.
Yeah,
Will that work if we do it to Metatron?
would have to be different.
It'd have to be altered specifically for him, or would have to be a completely new design?
I'm not sure. I'm getting altered design.
We'll play around with that.
Okay.
Okay. All right, now on to space species. All right, so last conversation we had, you mentioned there was a threat from the Arcturians. Could you describe that, please?
A thread or a threat?
Threat. That the Arcturians could be a serious problem for us down the track. What's going on there?
Their software has been corrupted.
By Metatron?
If not Metatron, something like Metatron.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it's and if humanity manages to avoid the outcome of the transhumanist outcome, then the Arcturians could be a problem for us after that.
Not immediately.
Not immediately, fair call. Now, last week we spoke. Okay, so the Arcturians. We'll get to them when it's time. But they've been corrupted and they have their own problems. And if they beat the corruption, they may not want to beat us up. But if the corruption wins, then they probably will. What about the Pleiadians? Like last week, we actually had a statement from a Pleiadian whistleblower about the relationship between humanity and the Pleiadians. Are you up to date with that?
Yes.
Is she correct?
Yes.
The Pleiadians have been hoodwinking us the whole time? The Pleiadians are lying to us?
Yes.
The Pleiadians seek to dominate Earth and the Earthlings?
Yes.
They've done this on heaps of worlds?
Yes.
They're involved in the slave trade?
You know what?
Slave trade. They trade human slaves.
Yes.
And the I can't say the word, but the juice that makes people live forever, are they trading in that too? The human juice.
It,
Say again?
they started it, but others,
Picked it up as well.
yeah.
They're saying they invented it. Well,
Yes.
they brought the process to Earth. And now there's more than one manufacturer.
Yes.
What would you suggest is the solution to our Pleiadian problem?
I'm not sure.
Is there an outcome where the Pleiadians don't live here anymore? Can the Earthlings ever be free of these things?
They could possibly abandon the
programs we don't like.
they could possibly abandon the the entities that they have here.
How many agents do they have walking the Earth?
1,200.
Is that all? Because the whistleblower said a number 20 times that. I don't suppose it really matters. We can figure that out. We'll figure that out.
I think the whistleblower was talking
Mm-hmm.
in soul swaps, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference. So just a soul swap is not an agent.
I get you. Yeah.
Soul swap could be a grooming for a future agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you combine the transhuman with the soul swap, you have more of an agent.
You have everything you want. Yeah. Okay. Can you tell us what the status of the reptilians are, the invading reptilians? What's the situation with them right now?
They're not invading anymore.
Are they all off planet?
Yes. The ones that could be off planet have gone off planet. Again, some may have been left behind as the mission was aborted.
Mm-hmm. And they don't plan to attack Earth again. True or false?
I'm not sure.
Okay. What about the mantis, the mantoids?
They still have designs on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Do they have the strength to carry them out?
Yes.
And the presence here, they still have a presence here?
It's not that much.
They want to invade again, do they?
I don't think they have intention to invade again.
What are their plans for Earth? If not to own it?
They're biding time.
All right, so we haven't seen the last of them then?
Probably not. It depends on how the evolution goes, or the
If the humans turn out weak,
ascension.
if the humans come out weak on the other side of it, then they'll attack.
Yes.
And so the only way forward is complete human sovereignty.
Correct.
So nice to hear one other being say that. All right. What's the status of the Order of the Black Sun?
There are no more.
One less enemy for the humans. What about the shapeshifters?
They're present still.
And their goals is to subvert humanity by soul swaps, etc. Body snatching.
They harvest souls for the drugs.
They harvest the souls for
the like how the Pleiadians have their juice.
They make a version of their own human juice.
They sell it to the highest bidder.
Well,
They don't. They pass it on.
But they don't plan to take over the planet.
No, it's a commodity. We're just they're just mining. They're just mining us. They don't.
So they're not an invaded group. They're more like pirates who just want to take the money and run.
Yes.
Well, let's shed some light on them. Thank you. Can you tell me what the status of the Jinn or the Genie army is at the moment?
The who?
The Jinns, genies.
The Jinns,
Yeah.
they're still here.
Did we hurt them?
Yes.
What are their goals here?
They infect people for Lucifer.
So they're Lucifer's subcontractors, are they?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for the heads up there.
It'll be hard to,
Dislodge.
yes, because they're ingrained in the culture.
We'll do what we got to do. You know, the friend of my enemy is my enemy. Ugh. And is Lucifer fragmented? Or is he whole?
No, he's fragmented too.
And is it just his friends who've grabbed up the fragments?
No,
Is it Metatron who's grabbed up the fragments? Who's got them?
I had one.
So you're saying you're not sure?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Thoth, Lilith, Metatron, they're likely holders, aren't they?
They're likely holding
Likely holding
the
part.
one you said.
Thoth,
Part,
Lilith, Metatron.
not Metatron.
Okay. What we did with you, can we do that to Lilith?
Yes,
Will it have a similar outcome?
most likely.
And Thoth, can we do the same thing to Thoth? Not a straightforward question.
No, he would need a different approach.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. What's the relationship between Lucifer and Satan?
You asked the relationship between Lucifer and Satan.
Correct.
Satan is more evil.
Isn't Satan Lucifer's right-hand man, or what? Is one superior to the other?
Satan would be more superior to Lucifer, or more
Dominant.
dominant. Yeah.
He's just more aggressive, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, that's my experience. And Satan is part of that club of Lucifer, Lilith, Metatron, Thoth.
I don't know where Satan came from.
Fair enough. Is he part of that gang or not?
He's the overlord of the gang.
Really? We had that all wrong. I thought Lucifer was the number one guy. Not the case. Now, one of our team suffered a counterattack this week. He was in hospital and in the intensive care unit. Are you familiar with this situation?
Okay.
Who attacked him? Who put him in intensive care?
I don't know the name.
Can you show me? What species was he? Yeah, I haven't seen that one before either. It's like he's part attack dog, but who's he working for? Oh my God. What that thing is. Who's he working for?
Metatron.
Thank you. And our man's going to survive?
He will survive, but he will likely have lost a piece or will need to recover part of his
of himself.
soul that was right. Mhm.
Yeah, we'll look after that. On to another topic. Most serious light workers, most genuine light workers are struggling financially, blocks their finances, collisions with Luciferian grids. What are the weak spots? What are we looking at here? Why are the light workers so under-resourced?
They haven't done enough healing on themselves. You could say that their base chakras haven't been healed yet entirely.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't released their guilt, judgments, shame, root chakra, sacral chakra.
The black chakra between their knees. Yeah, okay. Well, so those two are key to upgrading the amount of wealth that you can hold.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll be useful to quite a number of the members of our community. All right, so I'm sure you have a whole bunch of Sofia oracles around the place. What's going on with those guys at the moment?
They're all looking at the same reflection.
Mm-hmm.
They're all holding up a mirror, admiring what they see.
What would you? Mm-hmm. Go.
They feel they have a glimpse of that other dimension I'm setting up, that
Excellent. What's happening with the goddess Kali in you?
good old Kali.
What's that?
Good old Kali.
Good on, yeah.
We parted ways.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, good enough. What would you say is happening with the Pleiadian oracles in our community? How would you describe that situation?
They're seeing a smoky mirror
Mm-hmm.
rather than the brilliant lighted mirrors of the Sophia oracles. They're seeing a very cloud. It's yeah, a smoky mirror. It's not true. They are being fed information, but it's not.
It's not true.
It's not. Yeah, it's not true.
It's not of the light.
Right. It's.
So the Pleiadian propaganda department is a real thing.
Yes.
And that's what most of the Pleiadian oracles are connecting to.
Yes. Yes. It's not a pure light. It's, gray. They're, they're. Yeah. It's not pure.
It's intentionally distorted.
Yeah.
All right. No, I think that's pretty clear. All right. How many non-native humans live on the Earth?
Are you talking about their soul aspects, or
No.
what do you mean by non?
Well, they're not. Well, okay. So they're both not born here and not loyal to humanity. Or I suppose there are some of them that are born of foreign parents, and they're also not loyal to humanity. Can you count those two?
What would be 0.05%?
1 in 2,000.
Yeah.
All right. Then what's the current population of Earth? Because I don't know, I don't know if it's several billion or several hundred million. There's no, I don't know how to check that.
I'm not sure. I thought it was more like 15 billion or something.
Right. Okay.
5 billion. I don't know.
All right. So it's yeah, like I just wonder if we're being fed correct information or not. If it's anyway. It's all good. It's all good. Now, Corey Good, he talks about this group called the Zulu Guardians, and none of us can find them on the astral. What's this story? Where's the story coming from?
Indigenous populations
From where?
on the planet.
Okay. All right. Okay. I've got some things from Ishmael Perez as well. He says that the Guardian Alliance has 3 levels, the order of Emerald, Gold, and Ruby. So Emerald Gold is one color, Amethyst and Ruby. And that within our galaxy, there are the Signet Council of 5, the Council of 9, 24, and overseeing all these councils are the Great Council of 12. We've had a lot of trouble cross-referencing who these groups are and what they're about. Can you elaborate on what he's talking about, please? Is this making sense to you?
The channel doesn't understand. It's like speaking another language.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so is Corey Good still a pure source of information? Or is he under pressure?
No.
Is he subverted, or is he under pressure?
He's not being given authentic information anymore.
Right.
He's plant.
Yeah, okay. So he's being fed information. All right, enough.
Yeah.
Where's Ishmael Perez in this? What is he giving us pure information?
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
Where's he sourcing his information from? Not sure.
Maybe an aspect of source.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, Sophia, we've covered a lot of different topics. Is there anything else that you think you would like to tell us?
Your timelines are long. They're longer.
You're saying I'm going to live a particularly long life.
The timeline has expanded and broadened so that there's less pressure on the timeline as far as catastrophic events happening.
Yeah, well, correct me if I'm wrong. We lifted the frequency of Earth so that those really horrible timelines cannot occur. Is that right? The frequency doesn't get low enough for that stuff to happen.
Primarily, yes. It's still is a possibility, but it's very low possibility. But you've increased the likelihood that it's not going to happen.
Cool.
You feels like there's a very strong urgency to your things are not quite as dire as it might seem.
Yeah. If I said humanity is not on the back foot but on the front foot now, would that be a genuine, an accurate statement?
Not quite front foot forward, but not on the back foot yet anymore.
Okay.
Definitely transitioning or transitioned into it, but the step hasn't been taken yet.
Is the strategy of flipping dark gods like yourself, is that strategy going to work?
Useful?
Yeah. Does it sound?
It is a good strategy.
Will it work on Satan
No,
or Lucifer?
it may.
All right, but it will work on Lilith, so let's go after her. Okay, so humanity's not winning, but it's definitely not losing now.
Correct.
Cool. Well, that's something. And what should everyday people be doing? Like if you're listening, if somebody's listening to this, what should they be doing to
They need to be trying to heal their traumas, their emotional, their emotional charges and emotional traumas,
mhm.
so that they can reintegrate their fragments, the fragmented pieces of their spirit or soul. When they do that, their frequency will raise. They will not fall prey so easily. And they can come into their own powers and realize their gifts.
Awesome. Put in the hard yards, folks. Get your healing done, and you won't fall prey to the worst stuff, but your problems will become more luxury problems.
Yes, and if more of the collective is able to do that, then the humanity won't be subject to the worst stuff.
The rocky course that we're on.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Sophia. You've been wonderful today. You've shared with us lots and lots of good, really, really valuable intel that helps our groups orient on where we can be most effective, and updated us as to questions that we're not sure how to answer. You've been fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I hope to see you again soon. Ciao for now, lovely.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Woo! How you feeling?
Heavy.
Yeah.
That was really like the energy was so different when I was talking about the daughter, like, and you wanted to talk to that energy was so different and very heavy and very dense. Like it was almost like a different, like a different part
An
or
aspect
something
of
like that.
itself. Yeah.
I feel like I don't really like.
Look, that was an hour.
If I knew more, if I had any idea, I don't even have like vocabulary or lexicon for things. You know what I mean? Like I feel like.
And can I let you in on a secret?
Yeah.
We don't have lexicon or vocabulary for half the things we're encountering. We're making words up for the stuff we bump into. Like,
oh,
the spiritual world is not, it's not up to date with this stuff,
Well, yeah, it feels like I can't even, like, I can't, like, I don't, like, that whole thing.
It sounds like it's just too conceptual to put into words.
Yeah, like, the whole thing about, can you tell me about, like, the ruby and the gold and the amethyst, the 12 and the 9, I know, it was like, I feel.
I think everybody feels that about Ishmael Perez. I think everybody is. I think the community. I like that.
Oh, is that where that comes from? I mean, yeah, I don't know.
No, like he's a polarizing figure. Everybody either loves him or hates him. Like it's I get questions asking about both. So it's nice. It's nice to have him confirmed by a third party.
Okay. And it wasn't that that first person that you asked me about before that Ishmael?
Corey,
And yeah, that it seemed like she was saying that maybe he was authentic or like into, but he has been taken, you know what I mean? Like
he's been subverted somehow.
yes, yeah, like yeah, and not like intent, not like that, and not even that it like it is an intentional thing, just that he's saying what comes to him, but it's not being fed
From a good place.
right.
Yeah. And all of that stuff about the Pleiadian propaganda department sounds real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, spiritual community, let's.
I know.
Oh, I don't. Another thing I don't have lexicon or vocabulary for.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, love to everybody. Like and subscribe and all that jazz.
Right.
Yeah.
I think like stop looking like the Gnostics, stop looking outside yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like we can't rely on some alien race to come in and save the day. Humans have to do.
Nor do we want that. Nor do we
right.
want that. Our colonial history is about every place the English land or the French land, the local culture then starts to imitate them.
Right.
And so we don't want to be a Pleiadian subspecies. We don't want to be wannabe Pleiadians. You know, it's not. Forget about that. That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right. Love to you guys. Thank you so
too.
much.
See